guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I'm Monica, and today I am bringing you a summer sun-kissed makeup look. This is pretty much the makeup look I'm going to be living in during the summer. It's lightweight, but it's also going to last a decent bit throughout the heat and humidity, and I would know I live in a very hot, humid climate in central Alabama, so I have put this to the test. As we know, it's just going to keep getting hotter and hotter from here, so this makeup look will not fail you, I swear. We've got some repeated makeup products that I have talked about quite a bit. We've also got a couple of new things I'm going to be featuring, so I guess without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started and put on a very glowy, luminous, kind of just dewy, sun-kissed makeup look. Alright, to kick off my sun-kissed summer makeup look, I do start off with mascara. I do this no matter what makeup look I'm going for. I just like to do them first. I know it's a weird order, but it works for me. So I do go in with the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Primer, put that on, and then I follow it up with a product I have beaten into the ground quite a lot since it came out. This is the Essence Lash Without Limits mascara, specifically in the brown shade. I love the brown shade all year round, but it definitely falls into that sun-kissed makeup look category because it's a little bit softer, not as full glam when you're using something that's a little bit more toned down in its shade, so brown is perfect for this. It is a beautiful milk chocolatey brown shade, so I love this. I like to go in with the L'Oreal Lash Voluminous Primer first, and then I follow it up with 2 coats of the Essence Lash Without Limits. You don't necessarily need 2 coats, but I just tend to like 2 coats, so that's what I'm doing today. Alright, so I use an eyeshadow primer no matter the time of year, but especially in the summer months, it is an absolute necessity. So I love the Sigma eyeshadow primer. This is in the shade Ignite. A lot of these products that you're seeing me talk about right now are ones that I have talked about quite a lot, but I love them together because they make the most cohesive, wearable look that actually lasts. So that's why you're gonna see some of these products that you've seen a million times before in this video, but some of them are also new. So I'm just gonna take this and I literally colored on my lid. You've seen me do this 100 times. I color it on like literally just like a crayon, and then I take my finger and blend it in, and you'll notice I have very veiny eyelids, and you'll notice this blanks them out perfectly. So if you're somebody who needs a little bit of coverage from your eyeshadow primer, this is the stuff for you. Also, don't pay attention to the fact that my self-tan clearly is on its last legs. So I just love that. Look at the difference. So much better. So I literally just do the exact same thing on the other eye, and then we're gonna go in with my eye look. So I'm gonna go in with something else that is not new, and you've seen me talk about it 100 times, but I love to set that Sigma eyeshadow primer, and I love to use the Maybelline Single Shadow in Linen to do it. This is their Expertwear eyeshadow. I literally just take it and I just lay it down. I don't necessarily think the Sigma eyeshadow base needs a powder. I just like to have a powdery finish because I feel like no matter what you're doing on your eyes, the powder eyeshadow you're gonna go in with will blend better. So I just love to do this. Plus, it doesn't hurt to have like almost like a setting powder type of like method going on with your eyeshadow primer. And what better way to do that than with a single eyeshadow? I mean, you could definitely use like, oh my gosh. I mean, you could definitely use like regular setting powder, but I just like the tone of this so much. So perfect. It's also really inexpensive. Okay, so I'm not gonna do anything too interesting on the eyes because in the summer, I really just like something to kind of deepen my eyeshadow look if I'm going for like that sun-kissed look. I don't necessarily think you need a heavy eyeshadow look, plus it's not really in anyway. So I love to take the bronzer that I'm using. The one I'm gonna be using today is the Ulta Beauty Oh My Glow bronzer. This still needs to be repressed. As you can see, it is literally broken. I need to repress it, but this is the best bronzer. I love it so much. I mean, it's definitely up there with some other bronzers, but I just love it so much. It unfortunately only comes in one shade, and obviously it has another con against it with this situation, but it is literally so beautiful on the eyes, so beautiful on the face. It's perfection, and I love it so much for this sort of look. So I'm taking my A503 brush. I'm gonna gently tap this in there. I should have repressed this before, but honestly, we're about to go on vacation, and I literally have had no time to do anything but pre-film, pre-edit, and actually like work. So yeah, but I just love to take it, and what I'm gonna do is just quickly put it in the crease, and it is so beautiful. It's not anything, of course, super magical in like when you first apply it, but I'm telling you, it has the most beautiful like luminosity to it because it's not super glittery, but it's definitely got a little bit of luminosity, and that makes it the perfect bronzer for your crease. That way you don't have to use a flat matte bronzer, because I do feel like a luminous bronzer is definitely gonna give more of a sun-kissed look, and this way you can use it for 2 different things. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone, double duty sort of product. And that's what we're gonna do for eyeshadow. I think it looks so pretty. I love the look. It especially looks so nice in natural lighting because it's not too heavy or anything like that, which is kind of the vibe of this whole look. So loving that, and I really need to repress that. Probably gonna do it after this video, honestly. All right, so I'm about to jump into a base product that I've never talked about before that I'm so excited to talk about. Before we get there, I want to throw on a gripping primer, because in the Alabama heat and humidity that I live in half the year, it is absolutely necessary to have something to hold your makeup on for as long as possible, even if you're going for a little bit more of a glowy look. Well, I guess even especially is actually what I mean, especially if you're going for more of a glowy look, because you need something to really help the makeup adhere, especially for a long period of time. So I'm gonna be using the NYX Plump Right Back Primer. This is my personal favorite. My second favorite is the new Wet n Wild Clingy Serum Primer. That one's really, really good. Totally different consistency. This one's a little bit more lightweight, a little bit easier to blend on, while the Wet n Wild one is definitely much stickier, but they both work beautifully, and that one is quite a bit cheaper than this one. So if you're like, this one's too expensive because it's like $18, definitely get that one. I totally understand. But I just love to take a few pumps. I take about 3, and I literally take it on my hands, and I'm going to press it into my skin. I'm going to avoid my nose. I recently did a declutter series, and in the primer portion of my face declutter video, I was discussing how, for some reason, primer just does not work on my nose. I don't know why. I used primer on my nose for a while, and I was noticing that like random parts of my nose were like not holding on to makeup, like it would like literally like bubble up in a weird way. I don't even know if that's the right term, but it was very strange. Like makeup just would not stick. So I do avoid getting it on my nose, and I just press it everywhere. And once it's all kind of like dried in and soaked in, we're gonna go in with the base product that I am very excited about. All right, so about to jump into the new base product. I just need to spot conceal. I've got a potential new breakout on my chin, which I hate. And I've also just got some old scarring in random areas. Like, I haven't broken out down here in a while, and recently I just had one over here, and I had one over here. I think it's from my self-tanner from when I drag it up my neck, so I need to be more careful with that. By the way, in case you're wondering, I just used the Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer to spot conceal before base. It's perfect. It also helps to allow you to not have to use as much foundation or whatever you're going in with, and I love that. So the product I am so excited to feature with you guys today is the new e.l.f. Halo Glow Skin Tint Mineral Broad Spectrum SPF 50 sunscreen. It's got 12% zinc oxide, so I'm so excited about this. When they launched, I was really excited. It is $18, which I find really high. You do get 1 full ounce, and so it's not like terribly priced for a sunscreen. I was just excited to see e.l.f. come out with a like actual mineral SPF, and I've been trying it, and I do have to say I think it's worth the $18. You just have to not think of it as a drugstore SPF. Just think of it as an SPF. Like, don't put drugstore in front of it, because that's what's the most shocking. And we all know the drugstore has been creeping up in price. So anyway, but I have really been loving this. I love the packaging. It's literally so beautiful. I am obsessed with this like pinky, I know it's kind of like millennial pink, but I love it so much. So I like to take it on the back of my hand. It's quite runny. I have this in the shade 6 Light Cool, which I feel like is pretty good for my self-tanner. I probably could have gotten a little bit of a deeper shade, but the thing is, we can always deepen it with bronzer, so I'm not overly concerned with it. I will say, if you are going to use this as a base product specifically, go in with another SPF before. I like to go in with like a non-coveraged SPF before. I really enjoy the one by CanMake. That one I have been loving for years, and I am trying the Beauty of Joseon one soon once it comes in the mail. It's actually the Aqua Fresh one, not the original one, because I didn't want it to be super glowy, since this is pretty glowy. It's just a lot of glow, even with somebody who has like leaning to dry skin. I have like combination skin, but it leans dry. But in the summer, it's not as dry as the winter, so I don't need all of that glow. So I'll let you know probably in a future skincare, like updated skincare video, how I'm feeling about that. But yeah, I really love the CanMake one. That one's a little bit glowier than I probably would normally go for, but it works well with this. So I literally, as you can see, dotted it all over my face, and I'm going to blend it in with my fingers. This is how I love to use tinted SPF as foundation, or really in general, of course, because you have to blend it in anyway. I just feel like it's easier that way. You don't have to deal with like getting a brush out. You totally can use a brush. Sometimes I've done that, but I will say I just love how this blends with fingers. It really is so beautiful. It provides like almost a satin finish, kind of leaning glowy, but not like super dewy, which I love. I love having a little bit of glow, but not like super like disco ball-y. And I love the fact that it gives medium coverage. I feel like you really don't have to work that hard to get a good bit of coverage out of this. I have been loving this one. I also have been really loving the one by Color Science, but I wanted to feature this one in today's video because obviously it's brand new, but it's also much cheaper than the Color Science one. So even though it's $18, it's a pretty good priced sunscreen, and I love it so much. So yeah, I'll link all of my like favorite tinted sunscreens down below that I love to use as a base or foundation type product, but this one is, it's really up there. This one, the Color Science one, and the Tower 28 one are truly excellent. All right, so it's all blended on. I feel like it's looking really good. I definitely think it's a little bit lighter than my self tanner, especially when my self tanner is like fresh and not this situation, but I do really love the finish. I feel like it's pretty glowy, but it definitely will set down a little bit, and also we'll be using powder because I have to use powder. I just have to. I can't not use powder because it definitely will not be lasting. But before we get to powder, I want to talk about this product right here. I've really been loving on this recently on my channel, but I absolutely cannot stop talking about it. It is the Catrice Under Eye Brightener. I have it in the lightest shade, which is light rose. I love to just take it on my finger and go under my eye. Most of the time I like to just use this and not use concealer. Got a little bit high. There we go. I just think it's super easy. It kind of helps the dark circles diminish, but I'm not having to, you know, put on full concealer. Don't get me wrong, a lot of times I still put on full concealer, but when we're going for this sort of look, I don't want to deal with that. And most of the time when I'm wearing this look, this is exactly what I'm looking for. A little less makeup, if that makes sense. And by less makeup, I mean less products being used. This is a makeup look I am definitely going to be wearing at the beach when we go next week. Of course, by the time you're seeing this, we'll already be back, so hopefully it was fun. I'm sure it was. But it's just easy, it's simple. I don't have to spend forever on my makeup, and I look more put together, and I look very sun-kissed and beachy. So to set my under eyes and smile lines real quick, I'm going to be using the No. 7 Lift and Luminate powder. I love this so much. I use the Real Techniques powder brush, and I literally just go under like this. Sometimes with this look, I do go in with a loose powder, but sometimes I don't because I don't feel like dealing with it. I do feel like the loose powder makes it last a little bit longer, but I do also feel like it can make it look a little bit more powdery for a bit. Of course, it eventually like sinks into your skin, but I'm not going to use loose powder today because I don't want to overshadow the glow. While that is sitting for a second, I'm going to just quickly fill in my eyebrows with the e.l.f. brow pen, the Holy Strokes one that I love so much. This isn't necessarily what I would consider a sun-kissed makeup product. It's an all-the-time makeup product. I'm just gonna kind of quickly fill these in real quick. All right, just kind of making sure the powder that I applied is kind of blended in, wiped away if needed. I don't apply too much, but I definitely apply enough to where I feel like I need to do this even when I don't use the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder. Okay. So now I'm going to go in with a face powder. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Hybrid Powder Foundation. I have been loving on this. I accidentally dug my brush handle in there and it has since kind of panned out. I mean, literally. But what I love about this powder so much is that it is sweat resistant and water resistant, which I have found is pretty true. I've tried it quite a bit, and I love to just take it on my BK Beauty brush and literally just apply it up my face. By the way, this is the 105 brush. I love it so much. And what I love about the combo of the e.l.f. skin tint in this is that you can still see some glow, but it's definitely a little bit tamped down, so it's not like super flat. You can definitely see like the sun-kissed effect that we're going for. I'm sorry, I've said that word 100 times in this video. I hope you haven't been taking shots every time I've said it. All right, so now I'm feeling just a little bit better because I'm not as glowy, but there's definitely a little bit of glow still coming through with the combination of the powder foundation and the e.l.f. skin tint. So loving this, but I am going to warm my face up just a little bit more, and I'm going to go back into the Ulta Beauty Oh My Glow Baked Bronzer. I'm going to be very careful with this. I can't wait to repress this because it's literally holding on by a thread. So I'm taking this Refer brush, by the way. This is the 05 brush. It is literal perfection for bronzer, like cream bronzer, powder bronzer. I especially love it with like all powder bronzers, and then the LA Colors like On Cloud 9 duo. Oh my gosh, this is crumbling everywhere. Anyway, and I just love it so much. It's literally perfect. I hate how expensive it is, but if you are interested in getting this brush, get it during their Black Friday sale. So I love to just take it, and what you'll see about this bronzer is that the tone of it is going to warm me up a bit, but it is going to make me look naturally bronzed, which is exactly what we're going for in this kind of look. That's why I love this bronzer so much, which is why I'm even talking about it in this video, even though clearly it does not hold up packaging wise. The bottom has absolutely decided to drop here, so if you hear like super loud rain, yep, that's what's going on. I didn't even know it was supposed to rain today. Shows you that I did not look at my weather app this morning. But oh my gosh, I love this bronzer so much. I cannot wait to press it after this video, literally after this video ends, because I want to take it on my vacation because it's so perfect. It's literally the best. You can use it on top of cream bronzer if you're feeling like kind of doing a layering situation, but honestly it also looks so amazing by itself. I highly recommend it. So what I'm going to do now is finish off the rest of my makeup off camera. The rest of what I have to do is very not sun-kissed makeup specific, like lower lashes and eyebrows and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go off camera, finish that off, and then we're going to come back real quick before I finish this video off and do lips, because there are some lip products that I really love to use in the summer. So I want to definitely feature those in this video, and they kind of go with the sun-kissed look. All right, so the rest of my makeup is on. I'm feeling very put together. I also applied and then removed the NYX Lip IV Hydrating Gloss Serum. I used the shade Splash and Spice. I didn't feel like you needed to see me apply that again because I've used it quite a lot on my channel, but I'm going to jump into lips. I'm actually going to start off with the Maybelline Lifter Liner. This is in the shade On It. I kept this in my declutter and decluttered the other shade I had. This one is just much more up my alley. It's a little bit of a darker nude. I've really been loving this, so I love to just take it on the outer part of my lips and kind of feather it in just a little bit. And then I do think I am actually going to use another lip liner that you've heard me talk about 100,000 times, because I just kind of want to. I don't always do that, but I kind of feel like it today. So we're gonna start off with this one though, and then maybe go to that one. I also like to take my finger and just kind of blended it as well before it fully sets down, because this is a very long-lasting lip liner, which I love about it, but you do have a little bit of wiggle room to kind of blend it a little bit, so that's what I'm gonna do real quick. And so now I'm going to go in with the Rimmel lip liner in Innocent. I love this stuff so much. You've seen me talk about it a lot. It's quite a bit lighter than the other one I just used by Maybelline, but it still is a nude, so I'm just going to kind of center it and then kind of blend it all together. All right, so then what I like to do is either top it with a gloss, balm, or some sort of like lip oil. Aside from the e.l.f. lip oil, which I, of course, use constantly, I have really been loving these three products. This is the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Melting Lip Balm, specifically in the shade Blackberry Sorbet. Love this. And then I've also really been loving the Plump Ambition Hyaluron Lip Oil by L'Oreal. This is in the shade Latte Glace. And then I've recently been reusing this since my declutter series, where I rediscovered that I had this. This is the Kosas Wet Stick Moisturizing Lip Shine, specifically in the shade Heat Wave. I love it so much. So I'm really kind of unsure what to do. I guess I can just apply all of them for you just so you can see kind of what I've been wearing on a daily basis. Of course, I wouldn't wear all of these at the same time, but I do kind of want to show them in action, especially since I haven't really shown these a ton on my channel. I think I've shown this once, but everything else pretty much just flown under the radar. So I'm going to start off with the Kosas lipstick and just apply it over this situation real quick, show it to you, then we'll redo this off camera and then do another one of the lip products, and then we'll repeat that process once more. So as you can see, this is very much a balm look, definitely less glossy or oily than the other two products we're going to use, but I love this so much. I have really been loving on this product since I rediscovered it in my declutter, so I'm so glad that I found it again and have been absolutely loving it. It is just so easy to put on. I'm not even somebody who likes to apply lip stuff without a mirror, but this is something that if I wanted to real quick, I totally could, and I wouldn't be worried about how it would actually look. So love this so much. Let me remove this, reapply the lip liner, and then go in with the L'Oreal product. All right, so my lips are already a little worn out, but I did reapply the lip liner, and we're gonna go in with the L'Oreal Lip Hyaluron Oil. I have really been loving this. It's got a little bit of a different applicator than the e.l.f. lip oil, which you know I love so much if you've been here for really any length of time, but it hugs the lips in a similar way, which I love, and I also love this shade. So literally just apply it right over top that lip liner situation. It's also got a little bit of a minty tingle, which I love, and it kind of smells like Thin Mints. But not in an extra chocolatey way, just kind of minty on that level, if that makes sense. All right, so there is the L'Oreal lip oil. I feel like it looks so nice. I love how it applies over lip liner. I love to use lip oil over lip liner because I feel like I don't have very big lips, and it kind of helps define it while also having a little bit more of a, you know, natural-ish glossy look. This is definitely much glossier than the Kosas product we just used, and it's definitely got a good bit of tingle. So if that bothers you, just know that it doesn't bother me. It's not like fiery or anything like that. It's just very, very minty. So finally, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Melting Lip Balm. Like I said, this is in Blackberry Sorbet, which I love. It smells literally so good, and I also love the color of it so much. It may be my favorite one, honestly. So I'm literally just gonna do what I've been doing with the other lip products and go directly over the lip liner situation I've got going on. And yeah, this will probably be the lip product I stick with because my lips cannot handle any more rubbing off of anything and applying stuff. So here is what that is looking like. This definitely kind of, you can mess with the shade a little bit depending on what you're wearing underneath because it is still a little bit more of a sheer balm. I love the look of it. I feel like it's a little less glossy than the L'Oreal lip oil, but definitely more glossy than the Kosas, and I love the smell of it so much. I love how good it looks over lip products. So this is really good. If you haven't tried it yet, you've got to try it. It's a total dupe for the Summer Fridays lip balm. Just saying, they also have a ton of different shades. So that is it for the Summer Sun-Kissed makeup look I did today. I always love how this turns out. It always turns out so nicely. I feel youthful, fresh face, and just like I kind of tried, but I didn't have to put in too much effort. Of course, this video is longer than it would actually take me to do this. It's a very quick makeup look, but of course I was kind of chatting with you on the way. I would say that max, this makeup look takes like maybe 10 to 15 minutes. I love it so much, but I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and hit that notification bell down below, and also subscribe to my channel if you have not already. If this is the first time that you're stumbling across my channel, definitely go check out more of what I put out there. I do beauty, I do lifestyle, I just did a ton of declutter. So if you want to check out that, if you like declutter videos, if you want to binge some, I've got quite a lot of footage covered in those videos that I just put up, so definitely check those out. And if you do happen to like what I put out there, definitely stick around. Like I said, I'd love to have you become a part of the family over here long term, but for now that is it. So I'm going to bid you guys the best rest of your day, and I will go ahead and see you guys in my next video.